Hi, I'm Jennifer, 33, a high school teacher here in Chicago. My mom, Patricia, built a real estate empire from scratch, and when she passed, she left behind a $36 million estate. That's when my stepdad, Kenneth, showed his true colors. Right there in the lawyer's office, as the will was being read, he turned to me with this smug look and muttered under his breath, "You're walking away with nothing, kid." He sat back, arms crossed, smirking like he'd already won the lottery. I could see the dollar signs in his eyes. He'd spent years pushing me out, and now he thought the money was all his. But then Mr. Harrison, Mom's attorney, reached the very last sentence of the will. The room went dead quiet. Kenneth's smirk froze. And for the first time in years, I was the one who started smiling. One line hidden in plain sight changed everything. It wasn't just about money. It was about all the times he tried to erase me from my own family. Hang on, because what happened next still feels unreal. Before we get into it, drop a comment real quick. What time is it where you are, and what city are you in? I love knowing how far this story has reached. If you're hooked already, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. More real family drama coming your way. It started when Mom married Kenneth back in 2005. I was 13, Matthew was 8. At first he seemed okay, brought us to Cubs games, took us out for deep dish pizza. But once the ring was on, things changed fast. He started controlling Mom's schedule. Business dinners, weekend trips, client meetings. He filled her calendar so tight I barely got a weekend with her. When I called, he'd pick up her phone. "She's busy, Jen. You should focus on school." At family gatherings, he'd make these little digs about my teacher's salary in front of everyone. "Nice hobby," he'd say, laughing like it was a joke. Matthew ate it up. He thought Kenneth was cool because he talked about stocks and real estate deals. Then came the big one. He convinced Mom to sell our childhood home in Evanston, the house where she used to read me bedtime stories, where we had every Christmas. He said it was smart investing. I begged Mom to keep it. She looked tired and said, "Kenneth knows what he's doing." That house was gone in 3 months. I started feeling like a guest in my own family. Kenneth moved them into a bigger place in Lincoln Park, one he picked. He opened joint accounts for convenience. I'd email Mom to hang out, but replies were always late or came from him. "She's traveling." Vacations? They went without me. "Not enough room," he said. I kept screenshots of the texts, the missed calls, the excuses. I didn't know why yet, but I felt it. He was slowly cutting me out. Last year, Mom got diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, stage 3. I wanted to be there every step. Kenneth took over everything. He booked all the appointments, chose the doctors, handled the insurance. When I asked to come to chemo with her, he said, "We've got a system. You just disrupt it." I showed up at Northwestern Hospital anyway. He met me in the waiting room. "She's resting. Come back another time." His voice was calm but firm, like I was some annoying stranger. Then I got an email that supposedly came from Mom. "Please don't visit, Jen. It's too stressful." The phrasing was weird, too polished. I saved it. Matthew told me Kenneth had set visiting rules for the family. One night I called Mom's phone. Kenneth answered. I demanded to talk to her. He snapped. "She doesn't need this drama right now." I heard her voice faintly in the background asking who it was. He hung up. I started collecting everything, screenshots of blocked calls, texts where he said, "Not a good time," that strange email. Matthew was still living at home during college breaks. He started noticing things too, Kenneth, arguing with nurses about costs, pushing cheaper treatments. When Matthew asked about it, Kenneth shut him down. "Don't worry about adult stuff." I knew something was wrong, but I didn't have proof yet. Mom passed in November, 2 months ago. The funeral was small, at a chapel near the lake. Kenneth stood at the front like the grieving husband of the year. As we were leaving, he leaned close and whispered, "It's all mine now. You're done." I felt sick. In the weeks after, he moved fast. Listed 3 of Mom's properties the very next week, hired his own realtor, held a celebration of life party at the Lincoln Park house, invited his business buddies, not Mom's friends. I slipped in quietly and heard him brag, "The kid's getting nothing. Fair's fair." I recorded it on my phone. He fired Mom's longtime assistant who had worked with her for 15 years. Started transferring money into accounts only he controlled. Matthew was there when Kenneth yelled at him for asking why he was selling Mom's favorite lake house. "This doesn't concern you." That night, Matthew texted me, "I don't like this. I met him at a diner." He showed me photos he took of sales contracts and bank alerts. The 30-day clock after Mom's death was ticking, and Kenneth was running out the days like he owned them. A week after the funeral, a courier delivered a letter from Mom, handwritten, sealed, with instructions to open alone. She wrote about safeguards and gave me the name of a secure cloud folder. Matthew helped me log in, he's good with tech. Inside was the will's hidden clause. Any beneficiary who mocked, isolated, or financially manipulated me in the 30 days after her death would forfeit their share. I'd be the trustee to enforce it. She knew. She'd been watching him for years. We started building the case. I gave Mr. Harrison everything. The hospital texts, the fake email, recordings from the party, Matthew's photos of rushed sales. We got affidavits from 2 former employees who confirmed Kenneth told them to block my visits. Matthew secretly filmed Kenneth at the party, bragging about cutting the daughter out. I organized it all into a timeline. Mr. Harrison said the clause was ironclad under Illinois law. We were ready for the reading. The will reading was at Mr. Harrison's downtown office. Kenneth showed up in a suit, smiling, shaking hands like he was closing a deal. Mr. Harrison read the main distribution: equal shares to Kenneth, Matthew, and me. Kenneth nodded, satisfied. Then came the final sentence: any heir who, within 30 days of my passing, engages in derogatory conduct, exclusionary behavior, or undue financial influence toward Jennifer shall forfeit their entire interest, with Jennifer appointed trustee to execute this provision. Kenneth's face went blank. Mr. Harrison looked at me. I stood up, laid out the folder, and walked through the evidence step by step. Emails, recordings, witness statements, bank records. Matthew played the video of Kenneth gloating. Kenneth tried to interrupt. This is ridiculous. She's twisting everything. Mr. Harrison cut him off. The evidence speaks for itself. He ruled Kenneth disqualified. The room was silent except for Kenneth's heavy breathing. He stared at me like he couldn't believe it. He had nothing left. The next few months were intense. As trustee, I stopped the fire sale of Mom's properties. Matthew and I kept the portfolio stable and started a scholarship fund in her name for future teachers. Kenneth lost it all the moment the clause kicked in. He tried to appeal, hired a lawyer, filed motions. The judge threw it out fast. Legal fees ate up his savings. Chicago's real estate crowd talks. His clients bailed. His consulting business dried up. Last I heard, he sold his car, moved to a cheap apartment way out on the south side, and picks up random freelance work to pay rent. Old friends don't call back. He's alone. Matthew and I agreed. No contact. We blocked him, changed locks, told security he's not welcome. There's nothing to salvage. Looking back, this taught me something I want to pass on to you. Greed doesn't just hurt the people around you, it hollows out the person who feeds it. Kenneth thought he could control Mom, me, even the money, and come out on top. Instead, he ended up with nothing, not the fortune, not the family, not even respect. Mom showed me that real family isn't about who holds the checkbook. It's about who shows up, who listens, who protects you when you can't protect yourself. She put that clause in there because she loved me enough to plan for the worst. If you're dealing with manipulation, toxic family, or people trying to push you out of your place, don't stay silent. Document. Speak up. Trust that the truth has a way of surfacing. You are worth more than anyone's bank account. You deserve your voice, your memories, and your peace. That's the real legacy Mom left me, and that's what I hope you take from this story. Thanks for listening. If it resonated, share it with someone who needs to hear it.